All right, everyone. So we're trying something a little bit different today. We're going to try you guys having to do the notes without me up the board leading it more so, and you're going to watch it here on your computer screen. I expect that you guys are following along with my video here, and that you're not going ahead, you're not skipping through the video, you're not trying the problems on your own, that you're actually listening to me and doing the problems with me. And at the end of this, you'll have a little task when you're done. So we are just doing more multi-step equations today, nothing new. We're not going to be doing anything new today. We're just practicing multi-step equations. So you have 5 problems to do with me, and then you're going to have some to try on your own. So the directions for today are to solve each of the following equations for x. So for number 1, if I look at number 1, I have negative 6x plus 15 minus 4x minus 2 equals negative 8. My goal is to always get x by itself. When terms are on the same side of the equal sign, so I like to draw a line right at my equal sign, so I know I have a clear idea of the two sides. When terms are on the same side of the equal sign, you're just going to combine like terms. So negative 6x minus 4x gives me a negative 10x. 15 minus 2 is 13. We still have my equal sign here, equals negative 8. So your first step when you have multi-step equations is to combine like terms or distribute or do something to simplify and get it down into a two-step equation. So now I have negative 10x plus 13 equals negative 8. Now we're at a two-step equation. So to get rid of a positive 13, I'm subtracting 13 to both sides. Those cancel, and I get negative 10x equals, at this point, if you guys do not know, when negative 8 minus 13 is, we're not guessing anymore in here. We're actually putting it to our calculators. So I get negative 21. Now, to get rid of things that are being multiplied, and I know they're being multiplied because the 10 and the x don't have a sign in between them. You would add 10x if it had a plus sign in, or I'm sorry, a subtraction sign in between. There's no sign in between the negative 10 and the x, so they're being multiplied. And to undo multiplication, we divide by negative 10 on both sides, divide by negative 10. Those will cancel, and you get x equals what's negative 21 divided by negative 10. That is 2.1. Circle your answer, and you are done. All right, we're going to move on to number 2. If there's ever a point where you need a second to kind of catch up with me, pause the video and catch up. Number 2, I have 4 times x plus 6 minus 11 equals 25. The first thing you want to do is distribute. Simplify on each side of the equation sign, of the equal sign, I'm sorry. So you want to distribute the 4. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 6 is 24. Still have the minus 11. And I have equals 25. So now at this point, I look on each side of the equal sign. And again, I like to draw my line so I can see a clear separation between the sides. Anything that I can combine. Yes, I can combine the 24 minus 11. 24 minus 11 is 13. So I get plus 13 equals 25. Now it's a two-step equation. To get rid of the positive 13, we're going to subtract 13 to both sides. Those cancel. And you get 4x equals 12. Now again, the 4 and the x are being multiplied. There's no sign in between them. So I know that to undo multiplication, I divide by 4 on both sides. And I get x equals, those cancel. 12 divided by 4 is 3. I like to circle my answer, and I am done. You need a second, pause the video, and catch up with me. Okay, number 3. Number 3. There's a lot of distributing going on. So I'm going to start. 4 times 6x is 24x. 4 times 1 is a positive 4. Negative 3 times 4x gives me a negative 12x. And a negative 3 times a positive 3 is a negative 9. We still have equals 43. Okay, so I need to draw the line down the middle from the equal sign because, again, for me, I need to see one side and another side. If you don't need that line, don't draw the line. Now I look on this messy side of the equal sign over here, this side, and I say, what can I combine? I can combine my x terms and my non-x terms. So I know that 24x minus 12x is 12x. 4 minus 9, what's negative 5? We still have the equals 43 here. And now we're at a two-step equation. So now at this point, I say, okay, well, I have a negative 5. And we know to undo subtraction, we add across the equal sign. Those cancel. So I'm left with 12x equals 48. Now we know that the 12 and the x are being multiplied because there's no sign in between them. So to undo multiplication, we divide. Those cancel. So we get x equals, well, 48 divided by 12 is 4. I circle my answer, and I am done. Give everyone a second to catch up. We have 2 more problems to go. Number 4. Again, on the equal sign, across the equal sign, I see, oh, I have some distributing to do. So I'm going to start there. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 5, negative 15. Still have the minus 4, so I just write it. And I still have the equal 17. Now here we go again. I'm a very visual person, so I need to draw the line for myself to know that those are separated. So I look on each side of the equal sign. Well, the 17 has nothing to do. So over here, well, what can be combined? Negative 15 minus 4. So you have 3x, negative 15 minus 4 is negative 19. We still have equals 17. Now it's a two-step problem. Because the things that are being subtracted, like that negative 19, we add 19 to both sides. Those will cancel, so I get 3x equals 17 plus 19, which is 36. Now I know the 3 and the x are being multiplied because there's nothing in between them. There's no plus sign, divide sign, subtraction sign, so I know they're being multiplied. So to undo multiplication, I divide by 3 on both sides. 3's will cancel, and you get x equals 36 divided by 3 is 12. There's my answer. All right, we have one more problem to do, and then you guys are ready for your next step. So number 5, I look at the equation and I see, okay, well, I have an equal sign, so I like to draw a line down the equal so I know the two sides. So I look at my left side here, this is my left side, and I say, okay, there's no distributing I need to do, but I have a lot of terms I can combine. I'm going to combine anything with an x, so 3x plus 5x minus x. Well, 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. So 7x, I can combine the 4 and the 7. 4 plus 7 is 11, so plus 11 equals 88. And now we have a two-step equation. To undo addition, we subtract 11 to both sides. Your goal is to always get x by itself, so always leave the x term for last. Those cancel, so I'm left with 7x equals 77. I say, okay, I know that 7 and x are being multiplied because there's no sign in between them. There's no plus sign or subtraction sign. So to undo multiplication, I divide. Those cancel, and I get x equals 77 divided by 7 is 11. Great. So this should have taken you guys about 12 minutes to complete. So at this point, there's the homework worksheet sitting right in the front desk. I want you to grab a homework worksheet, and you have about 10 minutes to start your homework until you go to the next station. Make sure these notes are filled out completely, and then you can begin your homework.